Hello, Just Too Good here, back from the review, and today we're reviewing LEGO Minifigures The Simpsons Series 2. That's set number 71009. Now I have all 16 minifigures in the series here, and this set retails for $4 in the United States, and it has an official release date worldwide of May 1st, 2015. So without further ado, we'll take a look at each individual minifigure in this series, and let's get straight into that. Alright, so here is Homer, and this version is different from any other Homer released before just because of his torso print and his accessory. Because his torso is actually a nice fancy suit and tie, which appeared in episodes like Some Enchanted Evening, which that's really the one that comes to mind because that's also where the Marge in this series appeared in. And it makes for kind of a story in this series, where Marge and Homer are going out on a date. Homer also brought, I presume as a gift, which is a box of chocolates, which is actually kind of a cute print. We've never really gotten a box of chocolates print for minifigures on a tile. My only problem with it is it looks a little bit weird because it is printed on a 2x2 tile. So you got a lot of this white space there, so maybe it's on a tray or something like that. But that is a really cool print, and you could just compare it to any other version of Homer, and you could see the clear difference right there. So that's really cute, and now on to the next minifigure. So here is Marge Simpson in her fancy dress to kind of complement Homer in his fancy suit. And she has this nice accessory of this 1x2 kind of designer's purse right there, which looks awesome. I love how that came out. Very nice printing on that tile. And also this nice kind of bouquet of flowers, which is just an extra accessory that we've gotten in some sets before, but still looks really cool. My favorite part of her, though, is the dress, which has some great dual molded arms where you have these nice white gloves on them and these nice orange sleeves. And also these nice printing on her skirt right there, which looks really cool. And also she does have these nice orange hips right here. And you could just compare her to the other Marge Simpson, and you'll see they're not really similar because they have different outfits. And the main difference is their headpiece right here. She has printed earrings and printed kind of lipstick, while the other ones do not. So this one is exclusive to this theme, or this series. So our next minifigure is Lisa Simpson, but this is like no other Lisa Simpson minifigure release because she has kind of a different torso design and leg design where they use the short legs with dual molding in pink. And also her arms are actually dual molded with the pink sleeves. And then you got a nice kind of bow tie or bow in her hair, which looks very, very cute. And I like how that came out. It's accurate to the show where this dress has appeared in a few episodes, though it's not the Sunday best dress, which a lot of people kind of confused it with. And her best part, which a lot of people really like, is the inclusion of a new Snowball little cat right here, which the cat is called Snowball the second in the show. And he has a great new molding to him, which actually looks very, very cool. And I love how it came out. And they really put a lot of effort into the mold. My only problem with him is he's a little bit hard to stick onto studs right here. I mean, he sticks on pretty well, but still kind of nice how that came out. And you could compare her to basically how she looks in some of the other sets with her kind of traditional outfit. And you can see just the difference right there, especially with that little bow in her hair. And then if you want to see her legs right there, I do have an extra one right here, where you can see the legs are some really nice dual molding on that kind of pink right there, which carry around all around, so which look fantastic. So that's it for the Lisa Simpson minifigure. Now on to the next. So here's Maggie Simpson and Santa's Little Helper, and honestly, Santa's Little Helper is one of the best parts of this whole series, but Maggie is probably one of the worst parts, because Maggie, I was expecting a new outfit or something, but this is the same one that came in the Simpsons house. No variation whatsoever, which is kind of odd for a minifigure for a character that has come in a series before, so that's really kind of lame, and I'm disappointed for that, but I guess it's a nice way to get her outfit or torso again. But the Santa's Little Helper minifigure, or little molding right there, is so impressive. I love how they even got the rib cage right, and you can see he has that nice greyhound look that's found in the show, very accurate to the show, and even a little stud on top of him. My only problem is that he's kind of has a low clutch power when it comes to studs, so that's a little bit lame because you could easily kind of knock him over. But other than that, great little molding, and now on to the next minifigure. So here is Bart as Bartman, which is a nice reference to the three-man in a comic book thing, which Bartman has kind of become a fan favorite thing, even though it hasn't really appeared in many episodes. But I just love this design overall. It's just such a great take on not using any new moldings for just the character design overall, but making something new out of it. But they do use a new molding actually for the accessory, not really the character design, which is this new slingshot mold. It's a hard plastic, it's not rubber or anything, but it's a very nice mold because this is the first time we've gotten a slingshot before. Now looking at the minifigure, love how they painted all around him to have this kind of mask, which is very accurate to the show. And also, he has that nice orange color as his torso, which is the only way you can get the most accurate color torso for Bart, which we'll put that on Bart a little bit later. Also, nice use of these short cape right here in purple, and nice use of the orange short sleeves, which is the first time we're getting that. And here you go, I just put the regular Bart head that's found in the Quickie Mart or the Simpsons Series 1, and you can see how much more accurate it looks to show with that new orange torso applied from Bartman on him. So that looks fantastic. So here is Millhouse as Fallout Boy, a nice reference to the Radioactive Man episode. Very accurate to that design as well, except his hair isn't flipped up, which it makes sense because they kind of made this minifigure so they don't have to make a new molding and don't have to really spend money on a totally new mold. So that's actually really cool. And he has this nice kind of Buzz Cola accessory where it's that nice coffee cup design repainted to look like Buzz Cola, which differs from the Buzz Cola found in the Quickie Mart set, because the Buzz Cola in the Quickie Mart set uses a cylinder piece and a 1x1 circular tile as a top. This one just uses that one piece altogether. Love the torso design and the short sleeves and the short legs right there, which are dual molded like the sleeves, even though the short legs have came in Series 1 before in that same color. Also nice little green cape right here, and I love how the kind of mask carries all around the minifigure. And you can just compare him to the Series 1, and you can even see that he has different eye print right there, which makes him look more angry. So here is a comic book guy minifigure, and wow, this minifigure is a fantastic parts pack, and it's pretty faithful to the character in the show. A lot of people are complaining about his torso where his fat isn't really bulging out as a new mold, but I like it like this because it kind of gives a LEGO look to the minifigure, because there's not really any minifigures besides in the Hobbit theme where their fat are kind of bulging out. It looks fantastic in my opinion, and I really like the printing on his torso. But I think his best part is probably his legs, because his legs are such a great paint application right here, where you have kind of paint applied all around, except in the middle right here. So it's not dual molded or anything like that, like some people were expecting, but it looks fantastic and very accurate to the character. It is also great to use in a LEGO city for just some kind of casual shorts. Also, you have this nice comic right here for Everyman, which appeared in, I think, Homer the Whopper, which is a fairly new episode. And also this nice squishy piece, which isn't exclusive to this minifigure series as a whole, because it also comes in the Quickie Mart set. But it's nice to get it in a very cheap way, because it's such a great molding. Also, you can see how detailed his head mold is, where it carries to the back with the little ponytail. And on the top, he has kind of this nice kind of balding look to him. So that's really cool. And now on to the next minifigure. And here is Martin Prince, a character that I wasn't really expecting in this series. And he has a cool design on his torso and his legs. I like how they use a dual molding with that new orange color. The only way you could get that color there. But he's not one of my favorite characters from the show. I did like his part in 3 Minute in a Comic Book, which is a pretty good episode from Season 2. And his accessory, I can't really name from a specific episode, but it's a book, just a regular size book, which is actually what I wasn't expecting, with Coping with a High IQ printed on it. Also, his head mold's very cool. I like how it kind of continues to the top. And this is currently the only way you could get Martin Prince. So that's it, and now on to the next minifigure. So here's Professor Frink, which is kind of a funny secondary character from the show, and he has some great parts to him. His lab coat and his shorts right there are nice printing, which will attract people outside of the Simpsons kind of fandom. And also his little potion right here is very cool because it has this kind of nice lime green color inside, which makes it really cool looking. I like how that came out. And his head mold is one of the tallest of the whole Simpsons line, and you can just see the detailing all the way up to his hairpiece right there, which is very cool. But his side little parts right here of the glasses are printed. They're not molded, unlike, say, Milhouse. But his front spectacles are kind of molded, so that's pretty cool. And just a great minifigure overall. I also like his 2 buck teeth on front. So here is Hans Moleman, who always suffers an unfortunate fate throughout the series. And he's a great minifigure because of his torso, I believe. I think his torso is really cool. I love that little kind of tie right there. It's very casual and can be used in a town setting. But the rest of the minifigure, very cool molding. If you're a Simpsons fan, you're going to love this character. I love Hans Moleman, and every time he kind of suffers, he gets kicked in the groin with a football, and it's just funny. And he always gets his license revoked, so it's very fitting to have his license as his accessory, which it says Hans Moleman, and it says Void, which is really interesting because actually in the early seasons, his name wasn't Hans Moleman on his license. So very cool, nice printing on the 1x2 tile, and that's it for Hans Moleman. So here is Selma, and she is Marge's sister and Patty's sister, and she has some cool torso prints. I love her little kind of outfit right there, and her head mold is so elaborate. I love just the detailing of that. It's a very big one, just in terms of kind of how it's just all together, and it's kind of interesting how they kind of made the bottom right here. But very cool on the head mold. And also her accessory is a DMV eye chart, which she does work at the DMV, so it makes sense to kind of have this eye chart right here, which is used in the show, and it's really relevant, and I like how you could use it outside the Simpsons theme. Also, she has that little dress felt in that kind of blue color, which I don't think we've gotten it in that color before. And on the bottom, she does have that nice blue hips in the same color as her torso. So that is it for Selma. All right, so here is Patty, and honestly, not really caring for this minifigure too much because of her accessory, which is just this little purse right here, and not really anything I recognize from the show. I don't even remember her using a purse this color. Maybe it's in the show, but it does have some nice application to it. I kind of like how they did two different colors, kind of this turquoise color and this green color on there. But I would have liked maybe for her to get the eye chart and maybe for Selma to get Jub Jub or something like that. But other than that, great little outfit on the torso. Nice use of the pink short sleeves like Lisa from this series. Also pink short hips, which are pretty cool. And also her headpiece is really elaborate as well. You got a lot of detailing with the earrings and just this kind of bold design all around. Very cool minifigure, and now on to the next. So here's Groundskeeper Willie, and he is a pretty cool character in the show, a very funny character, and he has some nice kind of printing on his arms right here. I think that's my favorite part of him, his arm printing right there with some arm hair, and that use of the short sleeves in that kind of light brown color. Not really sure the exact name, but he also has some great kind of torso design. My only problem with him is his torso design doesn't continue to the back, which is a little bit weird for a jumpsuit. And also he does have a nice kind of design with this plunger right here, which I believe might be new for its color of this light brown right here, but don't quote me on that, because I think the other one had a more darker brown or something like that. And also his headpiece is very detailed overall. I love this, how they made it really accurate to the show, and it has a lot of nice things going on in it. So that's really cool, and you can even see his little teeth right there. So that's it for Groundskeeper Willie, and now on to the next minifigure. So here is Edna Krabappel, who is the teacher of Bart Simpson, and is a very funny character in the show who unfortunately no longer appears because her voice actor passed away. But she has a very relevant accessory, which is actually references to one of my favorite episodes with her, Bart the Lover, where she has a portrait of Gordie Howe, which Bart kind of uses as her lover, his picture, and he says his name is Woodrow, which is really kind of a funny sequence. But she does have some great torso print, which could fit in a town setting. Really like how that came out. Her head mold's very detailed. It's kind of interesting on, they even kind of molded the little earrings right there, and just the kind of design on the top of the hair. And also her hips are this nice green color, which are pretty nice to get. And she does have a nice kind of green on her dress as well. Also, her other accessory is this nice little pink cup, which is pretty cool. And that's it for this minifigure. Here's Waylon Smithers, who is Mr. Burns' trusty assistant, and he really is a really notable character in the series. I don't know why it took him so long to be in this. I think he should have been in Series 1, maybe over Nelson, but his accessory is really cool. It's a Malibu Stacy kind of printed 2x2 tile, and also this 1 or 2x2 plate right here in the same pink color, which is kind of cool. So you do get two pieces right there. And you can see how that is kind of made. You just kind of put that on top of the tile. And his torso is very usable outside of the Simpsons theme. It's a nice suit. And his head mold is very cool. You got some molding on the kind of side of the glasses right there, on the top of his hair, and on his front where he has a nice smiling face. So that's it for Smithers. So here's Dr. Hibbert, the only doctor we've actually gotten in the LEGO minifigures lineup before. I love the lab coat, or kind of doctor's coat, on his torso and his legs, which is cool because, like I said, we've never gotten a doctor in the LEGO minifigure line before. And his face is a very cool kind of design. It's has this permanent smiling face because he's always laughing in the show. But the molding on his hair is also very well done as well. Love the head kind of sculpt for that. And his 2x2 tile accessory is a nice kind of reference to the HOMR episode where they scan Homer's brain. They find out he has a crayon in his brain. If they remove it, he'll become super smart. And just a really kind of cool design right there on this nice kind of blue tile. So that's it for this minifigure. And now let's go on to the packaging design. So here's the packaging, which you can compare to Series 1. And the pamphlet, which has ads for both sets out and the minifigures on the front. Alright, so overall, here's kind of my rankings. My top 3 are right here. This is kind of solidified where Bartman's my favorite comic book guy, then Smithers. But I guess it gets a little bit iffy where I say Santa's Little Helper is my 4th, and then Edna my 5th of the series. Now my least favorite is definitely Martin in terms of the minifigure designs. But overall, this series I think is better than the first one if you're not a Simpsons fan. It has a lot more pieces that are kind of, I guess, more appealing to people who don't really watch The Simpsons. You get a lot of great torsos in here, which you get dresses. You get suits, which there's a lot of dresses and suits in here because there's a lot more female variation here and a lot more well-dressed people in this one than the first series. But also you get a lot of weird things, like you get a nice doctor's lab coat. You get some nice kind of superhero designs on Fall Out Boy's little outfit right there, or a nice jumpsuit back here. So that's really cool. And also some nice pieces that are really appealing to people who don't really watch The Simpsons. Like you get the nice eye chart, or the Valentine's Day box of chocolates, the squishy mold, the Buzz Cola, or even the slingshot, which is a completely new mold. So I love this series, and if you're a Simpsons fan, lots of great references here, like Gordie Howe, which is a great reference, and a lot of key characters that were missing from the first one, like Waylon Smithers and Edna Krabappel. So I love this series. You guys can express your thoughts down below, and I'll see you guys later.